Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and welcome guests. So today I'm going to talk about leadership, and leadership comes in many different shapes and sizes. There's military leadership, civilian leadership, in our professional lives and also in our personal lives. These days, I don't have too much going on militarily. I think I've worn my uniform maybe twice in the last 3 quarters. In my civilian life, I have more going on. Professionally, I finished my thesis yesterday. So I'm focusing on my personal life. All right, so today I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to talk to you about 3 major things about leadership. The first is the attributes of a leader, leadership styles, and specifically 3 of them that kind of apply to me, and then the uses of those leadership styles. All right, so here are some general attributes of a leader. In Toastmasters, obviously, we focus on communication as well as leadership, and we know how important it is to be an excellent communicator. For integrity, that comes, I think, primarily from our upbringing, but that can ebb and flow throughout your career. It's important to be open-minded, and I think that is a result of your humility. And then looking at this picture, the question I have for you guys is, can you tell me who in this picture is the leader? Wrong. It's me. So, in preparing for the speech, I went through Pathways, and they had me take a questionnaire. And these are the results, my scores from the questionnaire. Today I'm going to focus on the one at the top, which is where I scored the highest. There's kind of a grouping of similar scores up the top, and then I scored the lowest in the bureaucratic leadership style. All right. So some of the key aspects of the bureaucratic leadership style is there's an emphasis on establishing and enforcing rules, motivating by discipline and demanding obedience. It's a top-down approach with decisions that are absolute, and it works best for, in general, unskilled workers. So as you can see in this picture, I believe the individual on the left just got done eating some dirt and finishing it off with a cherry. And I'm not sure about the one on the right. The second leadership style that I'm going to talk to you guys about today is pace setting. Some of the key aspects of pace setting are leading by example by setting high standards, focusing on productivity, providing general guidance to your subordinates, and then letting them work out the details. And this works with self-motivated and highly skilled workers. As you can see in these pictures, the individual on the left is very good at multitasking. And the one on the right is working on studying the kinetic reactions of billiard balls while also simultaneously LARPing. And LARPing is live action role playing for those who are above 60. So I think the most important leadership style that I exhibit is probably this, having a warped sense of humor. And I think it's garnered a lot of interesting results throughout my life. These are all pictures from the fairly recent history. And for some reason, people around me seem to be inspired to act in strange ways at the slightest coaxing or comment from me. So these pictures, this is my neighbor up in Washington, who I've spent a ton of time with, and that was Halloween, I think 2 years ago. The guy on the far right is Oscar and I's other roommate. We're all graduating this quarter. And then the 2 on the bottom are guys I go to church with. And I think I called this guy a wildebeest, and that's when he took off his shirt and proved it to me. So, moving on. Okay, so what's important about having a leadership style and being able to adapt it to any situation is actually producing results and being effective with your leadership style. So personally, in my day-to-day life, I'm very concerned about my daughter and raising her up in the way that I think she should be raised. And a big part of dealing with children is obviously being flexible. The picture that you see in front of you was a result of my daughter in general loves wearing dresses. She loves celebrating in them specifically. And my mother had just given her that outfit, which was the tank top and a pair of shorts, which she hates shorts. But in order to get her to stop crying and kind of come along with the rest of the family and celebrate Thanksgiving, I told her that she could wear her shorts however she wanted, so she decided to stick them on her head. So,
I just got that.
yeah. So I talked about the attributes of a leader, 3 leadership styles that I think are important for me, and then finally some minor uses of your leadership styles. So with that, I hope all of you learned a little about leadership, and that you will also strive to be more effective leaders in your own personal lives. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, and especially Gordon. Major, you don't get to be a major without having an excellent leadership style. I would have liked to have seen you George Patton this bit of humor up slightly. That might have made it just a little tiny bit funnier, but what a wonderful, funny way you presented it nonetheless. And that charming little girl, that's kind of a cheat. I just think I can't say it's a cheap shot because she's so adorable, but every entertainer is terrified to follow children or pets, and that's exactly why you should add them at every moment, and you did just an exemplary job. And I do celebrate the end of your thesis, so congratulations for that as well. The attributes of a leader you have given us throughout your tenure here at Toastmasters. This was just for fun, and let's remember that. So this speech purpose was to identify Gordon's primary leadership style and skills. With this, he could have done it with humor, or he could have done it professionally. He certainly chose to be funny, and that was marvelous. Loved it. Syntax, grammar, I'm going to nail you on. Oscar and I's roommate. Gasp. It should be mine and Oscar's roommate, or my roommate I share with Oscar, something like that. Please think about that. It's such a wonderful speech. Don't mess it up with the grammar. Vocal variety would be another thing I'd work on. Just, again, a marvelous speech, but get that vocal variety going, because your pictures overshadowed your speech, I thought. So I was getting lost listening to your verbiage when I was enjoying the pictures so much, because you got a little bit monotonic while you were going along. So just kind of work that up and be a little bit more excited about those adorable kids, the little Viking there and the little nail at the 60 plus, because yeah, I'm not quite there, but I didn't know what that meant either. But I love your sense of humor throughout. You're funny, you're wonderful, you're a major. I look forward to you running the country, all of you. I'm just excited to be here. And your daughter, I think the best thing you gave us today is that you are possibly warped with your sense of humor, but there is nothing warped about your parenting style.